How much money would you make if you invested $10,000 into ticker AMZY, the YieldMax AMZN Option Income Strategy ETF? It's a mouthful. Currently, they're saying it has a 52.43% dividend yield, which is outrageous. This ETF is one of the more popular YieldMax funds. You guys have loved the CONY fund video I did, as well as the TSLY. So we're doing this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. So here we can see their dividend history. We're going to look at this in Seeking Alpha as well, but they do match up pretty well. I'm on the YieldMax ETF website. For those of you that don't know, there are so many of these ETFs out. It's actually insane. I'm not sure any of the yields are accurate. CONY's is, but of the ones I've been doing, a lot of them have not been accurate. I'm going to be doing more videos, so if you guys are interested, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing one on Netflix, possibly Disney, and all the way down here, they get some pretty crazy yields. Their newest one, MSTY and ULTY, are both almost at 100 or even a little above 100, which is crazy. So these yields they're absolutely insane. AMZY has only been paying out a dividend for roughly 9 months. And so there's not a lot of history with this. If you guys want to go through, I really recommend going to the YieldMax website, checking all this out, reading through. They say what the goal is. They're looking for income. They say that this is a lot riskier than just normally holding a stock, and that you're not going to get any of the dividends paid by Amazon, which is okay because I don't even think Amazon pays a dividend. But check out the website and let me know what you think. Now let's jump over to Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha is showing us a similar dividend history. I like it because you can see it in the bar chart form. So you see that this last dividend was a really, really nice dividend. Amazon stock has been going up pretty consistently, and we're going to take a look at that next. But I wanted to jump over here. You can see they've only been paying out dividends for what, 2 years? Nothing crazy. They pay monthly, which people really, really like. Of course, their dividend growth has been good because of their most recent insane dividend, but Seeking Alpha has them at a 24.6% dividend yield, and I have it a little bit higher than this via my own calculation, which you can do by adding up all the dividends. And it is a little bit complicated because they haven't had a full year of dividend payouts, but I always recommend to do that. So I'm not sure if Seeking Alpha's and my calculation is correct or if the actual YieldMax website is correct, but either way, we're going to run it based off the YieldMax funds, the website's stating of what the dividend is, and then we'll see at the end of the year if it ends up being more or less. There's not a lot of information about these out because it's kind of been all over the place as we've known. But with CONY doing well, I think that there is room for AMZY to grow as well. So let's take a look at the price appreciation of AMZY and Amazon stock. So checking out Amazon and AMZY, we're putting their stock prices back to back. We can see that Amazon is down 5.5% and AMZY is down 2.5% in the past month. Now, if we jump to the 6 month on both, AMZY is up 7.5%, while Amazon is up 23%. Amazon has been going insane. We jump to the 1 year, which is only about 9 months for maybe 10 months for the YieldMax fund because AMZY hasn't been trading for that long. And it's up 12% in the past year, where Amazon's at a 42.3% return. So the way that these covered calls, these option income strategies work, when you're holding these, you aren't necessarily just holding the stock. You are not going to get the same return holding 1 share of AMZY and 1 share of Amazon. I want everyone to know that. It is really, really important to know what you're investing in if you're going to look into buying any of these YieldMax funds. Amazon has had some phenomenal growth, and they will probably continue to do so for who knows how long. So if you just like Amazon stock and you don't really care for dividends, then you should just purchase the stock. Do what you would like to do and do what fits your strategy. So if you want more income, the YieldMax funds are going to provide that for you at a much higher risk. So take note of that. Always, always, always be careful. So if we go to the 5-year chart for both, again, AMZY hasn't been trading that long, but Amazon has had some insane growth since January 6th of 2023, which is very, very interesting, up 107%. I actually sold my Amazon about at this peak because it was just skyrocketing. So it's just important to note the differences and what you're looking for when you buy a YieldMax fund. If you are looking at a stock like Amazon that is going to go up 42% in a year, AMZY will not match that. You will not get a 42% return on AMZY because of how the calls are written. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad option to go with AMZY, but when it comes to these YieldMax funds, I look for funds that have slow and consistent growth. So the next video may be on PayPal, or it may be on Nvidia, or one of the more safer options, because those are the ones that I look at more importantly. You do want them to be growing. If you look at CONY, their dividends have been insane because the Coinbase stock has been going insane. But if Coinbase were to start falling, the dividends shrink and it's a really big mess. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt and be really careful and just be knowledgeable about these. Don't just buy into them for the hype, because a lot of people do that and I really wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend buying into the hype for anything, because that's how you end up losing money in the market. But right now, we're going to do the dividend investment calculator and see how much money you would make investing your $10,000 into AMZY if it did pay out that 52% dividend yield. So 52% return rate, money invested 10K. We're on dividend.com using their reinvestment calculator. And after 1 year, boom, your total return would be $5,200, because we're getting roughly a 50% return. So you're going to be getting $5,000 in the dividend. And so the beauty of that is now you have a total of $15,000, and that's just for 1 year. Now, this is if the stock price does not go up or down. This is just if the distribution rate remains the same and consistent and the stock doesn't drop and all things. So this is extremely, extremely, extremely unlikely to happen. There's a lot of factors that weigh on this, but we like to run the numbers and just to see exactly how much money this could make you. So after 5 years, with all your dividends being reinvested, you are now making $27,000 every single year in dividends, which is crazy, off of a $10,000 investment. But that's how the compounding works. And your total returns are $71,000. You've made $71,000 off your $10,000 investment, and your total money is $81,000. Now we're going to kick this up a notch, and we're going to go to 10 years. So 10 years, the numbers just start to go insane. Coney's was even worse because the yield is like 130%. Now you are making $225,000 every single year just off dividends, just off your $10,000 investment. And your total returns are $650,000. This is why these funds are kind of laughed at. I'll be honest. I don't put a lot of seriousness behind these because they are outrageous. It is crazy to believe that that could happen. And I'm not saying that it will or won't, but it is hard to believe. So we're just going to keep going. Why stop here? We're going to go to 20 years, 10K invested, reinvesting everything. And at year 20, oh my gosh, you are now making $14 million, $14.8 million. So nearly $15 million every single year as passive income. That is like Warren Buffett level. Not even. Warren Buffett makes more than that. But still, that is absolutely insane. And your total return is $433 million? No, $43 million. Whew, that was close. Your total return is $43 million just off that investment. One investment. And now I'm not saying it's worth the risk to put all your eggs in one basket. I'm really not. I always think that diversification is super important, but my goodness, I don't think Amazon would be able to do that. In fact, it's extremely unlikely that it would be able to, especially at the market cap it's at now. So that's why people look to these funds with a lot of hope, because the potential is crazy. It's just, are they going to be able to meet the demand? Now, 30 years, I already clicked calculate, doesn't matter, we'll do it again. 30 years, you're 10K invested at a 52% rate. So like I'm 26 years old. So if I wanted to retire at 56, 30 years from now, and I invested 10K today into this, here's how much money I would have if everything holds up, which is, again, unlikely. Oh my gosh. We're not into the billions. You are now making just under $1 billion a year just in dividends alone. Hopefully you have it in a retirement account so you're not paying taxes on it, because that would be insane. $976 million now paid out every single year in dividends on your 30th year. And we can see that our total is $2.85 billion invested. Gained. Because our 10K was the initial investment. You have made $2.85 billion, which is just, I don't even know what to tell you. That is, of course, life-changing money. And that's why it's unlikely. 30 years invested, 10K. Extremely unlikely, but it's fun to think about, honestly. And that's why these videos are so entertaining, because it's fun to think about. You could make billions of dollars off a 10K investment now. If these were legitimate, everybody would be doing it. You'd be investing, you know, your mortgage into this instead. But all in all, it is really, really risky. So let me know in the comments what other YieldMax ETFs you want me to talk about. If you want me to do this on any of them, again, Amazon is a company that I like. You might be better off just owning Amazon stock compared to some of these other ones, but I'm open to everybody's opinions. If you haven't seen the Coney video, I'll link it right now at the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in the next one.